All right, so welcome everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome to my house. It's decorated for Christmas. Basically, I was using this practice as a way to set intention. So even with the winter solstice, it's kind of the new year is coming up. And even if it's not the new year when you're watching this, it's always a good idea to set intention, because as we move through our days with more intention, our life will have more purpose, right? Instead of just being like without our life happening to us. So I personally don't like to live my life where I feel like it's just happening to me. I want to feel like I'm in control of it. Okay. And we are in control of our lives, whether we know it or not, with how we think. So it's really important, I think, to live your life with intention, because then everything that comes up, you're like, okay, does this get me closer to my intention or further away from my intention? So let's just find a comfortable seat. You can sit in an easy cross-legged pose and then pull the flesh away from the sitting bones. I'm going to scoot back so you guys can see me. So pull your flesh away from the sitting bones so that you feel like you are rooted, and you don't want to be rounded like this. So just sit right on top, pull the flesh away. Okay. Flex the feet and pull them back towards the body, and then rest the shins into the arches. Roll the shoulders up, back, and then just let them relax down. You don't have to pull them down, just relax them. And then have the palms open on the knees. Tuck your chin slightly and close your eyes. Let's start to breathe here. Taking some cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just kind of letting go of anything that's been on your mind already this morning. Just letting it go, starting to come into the present moment. So then if it feels good, you can start to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. On your inhale, draw the lower belly gently in and up. Expand the low ribs, mid ribs, upper ribs. Exhale, upper ribs, mid ribs, low ribs, and belly. Inhale up, lengthening the spine. And then exhale, relax the outer body. Let go of any tension in the forehead, the jaw, the shoulders. And then start to think about your word for the new year. So or again, if you're watching this video later, just for the day or the month or the week ahead, think of a word that you want to kind of define you. Some options could be peaceful, calm, successful, excited, loving, loved. Accepted, accepting. Just think of any word that resonates with you. How do you want to feel in this coming period of time? Using this practice today to kind of cement that in. And using that intention as a guiding force in the decisions that we make in our day-to-day life. So just a few more breaths here. On your inhale, think I am. And on your exhale, put in your affirmation word. Just continue with that. Anytime during your practice, if your mind starts to wander, bring it back to the breath and back to this affirmation. And then circle your hands together in front of your heart into prayer, and let's set that intention and clear the space energetically, and also connect to each other with one Om. Keep in mind, I can't hear you, so don't worry, you can do your Om and nobody's going to hear you. Take a deep breath in. And then slowly bow your head, bring your hands down to your knees. Just let the head hang, keeping the rest of the spine straight. And then roll the head over to the right. Gently draw your left shoulder down. And roll your head forward into the other side. And back down to center. Take another breath here. Blink your eyes open. And slowly lift your head. All right, so working with this solar plexus a little bit today, a few different ways you can work on the solar plexus chakra. It's the third chakra. It goes root, sacral, solar. So you can do twisting poses and also heating poses. Okay, so if it feels good for you, and I would normally do more warm-up poses seated, but just to save a little bit of time since we chatted at the beginning of the hour, we're just gonna rock and roll and then come to the hands and knees. If it hurts your spine, like if you're on a hard floor, you can just come to your hands and knees. I'm on carpet, so it feels okay for me. So just roll back and forward if it feels okay, 3 times, just getting the energy flowing in the body. And then see if you can roll up to the feet, hands down, and then just make your way to your downward facing dog. So just kind of moving right into some heat building poses. So in your downward facing dog, really spread the fingers apart as far as you can comfortably and push into your knuckles. So you don't want any of your knuckles popping up. So really push into the knuckles. Good. So Yara, bend your knees a little bit and really push your hips up and back so that you're in a straight line from the wrists all the way up to the hips. Yes, that's much better. You don't really want an angle at the armpits. Yes. So Helena, same thing. Bend your knees and then push into your hands and send your hips up and back more. Push back. Push your hips back. Yes, much better. Good, good. Breathe here. Let the head hang loose. Good. Galaxy SS or SA, I just unmuted you. What's your name again?
Jamie.
Jamie, got it. Okay, thanks. Perfect. Yeah, yours looks good. So just walk the dog here, bending and straightening the alternate legs. Push one heel down and then the other heel down. And then walk your feet forward towards your hands and bring your feet as wide as your mat. Turn your toes in slightly so the outside edges of your feet are parallel. Bring your hands to your shins and then inhale, reach your heart forward for monkey pose. Bend your knees, grab your opposite elbows and exhale, fold forward. Let the head hang loose here. So let the head and the elbows be really heavy. Now let the arms hang loose to the ground like ragdoll arms. And if it would feel good, bring some movement into the body. So what I teach is something that I call intuitive flow. And so it's really about being your own guru, especially, on your mat. So the more that you can listen to your own body and your intuition on the mat, the more you can do that off of your mat. So anything that would feel good for you here, then you can do that. Now bring your hands back to your shins and then inhale, reach your heart forward again. Bend your knees slightly, interlace your hands behind your back, and then exhale, fold, and let the arms come up off the back. Maybe the knuckles reach up towards the sky. Relax the face, relax the jaw. And then bring the hands down to like the booty, the sacrum, and then let the hands slide all the way down the backs of the legs, just giving yourself a little bit of love here. Hands to the shins one more time. Inhale, reach the heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips, ground down into the feet, and then inhale, slowly rise up. My head's gonna get chopped off, but that's okay. You don't really need to see my head. All right, now let your arms hang loose to your sides. And we're gonna go from side to side and just let the arms kind of hang and flop around. My daughter's testing out her new alarm clock. So if you hear beeping, that's what that is. So this is something that's stimulating, again, the solar plexus chakra. It's called Manipura or Manipura. All right, and then make your way up to the front of the mat. If possible, bring your big toes together to touch. Lift the toes, spread them apart, and grip them down into the mat. If you feel really unstable here, or if your legs are just, sometimes bodies are just built, different, and it feels better for your feet to be about fist width, that's fine. So this is Tadasana, or standing mountain pose. Make sure not to lock the knees back. So just have a very gentle bend in the knees. They shouldn't look bent, but they might feel a little bent. Okay, so exhale, ground down into all four corners of the feet. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, fold. You can bend your knees, point your tailbone up towards the sky, let the arms and head hang. Hands to the shins. Inhale, come halfway up to monkey pose. Bend your knees, plant your hands, exhale, step back to plank. So we're gonna do a sun salutation, but this one we're gonna move really slow. Inhale, push forward so the shoulders come past the wrists. Knees come down for this first one. Exhale, lower down, have your arms rub on your sides on the way down. See if you can get your chest to land before the belly. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up, shoulders away from the ears, push into the knuckles. Exhale, lower down, curl the toes under. Inhale, push up in a straight line, either to modified plank or regular plank, and then hips up and back, downward facing dog, exhale. Okay, breathe here. Take a couple breaths here. I'm gonna take care of that sound. Okay, good. Now, walk your feet in a couple inches, bend the knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, walk or lightly hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, reach the heart forward for monkey pose. Hands can be on the shins. Exhale, fold over the legs. Feel free to bend the knees for more movement in the pelvis. Ground down, look out. Inhale, rise up with a flat back, palms touch overhead. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Hold here and breathe. We're gonna do one more like that and I'm gonna watch. So exhale, ground down into all four corners of the feet. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, fold all the way forward, hinging from the hips, so feel free to bend the knees. Good. Hands can come to the shins. Inhale, halfway up, reach the heart forward, perfect. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank, top of a push-up. Good. Good. Inhale, push forward with the toes, shoulders come past the wrists. You can keep the knees up or down. Exhale, lower down, chest lands first. Either way, chest lands first. Yes, good. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, chest forward and up, cobra. Perfect, beautiful. Exhale, lower down. Curl the toes under. Now see if you can try to lift your belly first. I know, it's hard. Lift your belly first and push up to the knees or plank. Yes, good, Terry. And then hips up and back, downward facing dog. Awesome. So downward facing dog in Sanskrit is Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good. At any time, feel free to take a resting pose or a cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now stay there, or if you want to practice some bunny hops, you can do that. If you want to watch me, I'll show you what those are. So from your downward facing dog, you walk the feet in a couple inches, big toes touch, bend the knees. We'll inhale, look forward, and then at the end of the exhale, little or big, whoop, maybe not that big, little or big hop, okay? So let's do 3 of those. This is a good one to build a lot of heat. It's kind of cardio. Like, inhale, look forward, exhale, little or big hop, or just skip this. Yogi's choice. What do you need from your practice today? Is it going to bring you closer to your intention or further away? And then after 3, walk or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Reach the heart forward, flat back. Exhale, fold over the legs. Push down into the feet, look out. Inhale, rise up with the flat back, palms touch overhead. Exhale, draw the hands down through center, right to the heart. Breathe. Feel free to take some cleansing breaths. Okay, so now we're going to start to add on a little bit. Okay, so inhale, reach your arms up overhead and bring your hips back into chair Utkatasana. Palms touch if possible. Inhale, reach the heart forward, and then exhale, fold. Only straighten the legs to where you can. Inhale, come to your flat back, monkey pose. Exhale, walk to plank or hop to chaturanga if that's part of your practice. Push forward, lower down. Inhale through cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, slow, hips up and back, downward facing dog. So I like to move really slow actually through the vinyasas because every movement should take about 4 counts because that's how long each breath counts. Okay, and I also like that because whenever we can enjoy every moment on the mat and really be mindful each moment on the mat instead of just trying to get from one pose to the next pose to the next pose, then it's, you know, easier to do that off of the mat, which most of us need help with. All right, so bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, however you can, bring your right foot forward in between your hands. Keep your back heel lifted and then slowly rise up, okay, to crescent warrior. So hands can be on your hips for now. Bend your back knee a little bit so that you can lengthen your tailbone down. We don't want the booty popping out. That'll compress the low back. Lift the rib cage up. Arms up, relax the shoulders away from the ears, and then roll the shoulders so like you're trying to close the armpits, okay? Palms face each other. Breathe here. If you want to challenge your balance, you can look up. Now inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, bring both hands on either side of the right foot. Walk the right foot over like an inch or 2. Keep the left hand down, reach the right arm up towards the sky. So twist to the right. Twist your belly button open, open, open. Yes, good. Yara, other way. Left hand down, right arm up. There you go, good. See, so sometimes it's not good to use right and left all the time, but especially on video, it's kind of hard not to because sometimes I would say, open up towards the prop wall. Well, we don't have the same prop wall. All right, release, downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa, so you can stay in down dog or move through a vinyasa. So just do that on your own. And it's okay if you don't know exactly what it is. It's going to have some form of plank, chaturanga, back bend, and then back to down dog. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, big toes touch. Bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, left foot through, low lunge. Okay, now keep the back heel lifted and then slowly rise up. Bend the back knee a little bit, lengthen the tailbone down, and scooch the right foot back. So instead of the heel being down like this, see if you can scooch it back and have the heel more above the toes. Arms up, wrap the shoulders, palms face each other. So keep lengthening the tailbone down, but lifting the rib cage up, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, both hands down on either side of the left foot. Walk the left foot over 1 or 2 inches. Keep the right hand down. Lift the left arm. So twist to the left, twist your belly button. Make sure not to dump into the bottom shoulder. So really push into the bottom hand. So you have a lot of space in between the shoulder and the ear. Release, downward facing dog. Okay, let's move through a vinyasa all together. Inhale, come forward to your plank. Knees can come down if you like. Exhale, lower elbows, squeeze in, chest lands first. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, back bend of choice. Engage your abs. Slowly exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. So we'll breathe here for a few breaths, or please feel free to come down to a resting pose. Because downward facing dog shouldn't be a resting pose. You want to stay very active in your downward facing dog. Always rolling the shoulders away from each other, rolling the forearms in, really pushing into the knuckles, sending the hips up and back. Good. Nice long line from the wrists all the way up to the hips. All right. Now, bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, walk or lightly hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up, monkey pose. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet. Inhale, rise up just to a chair. Sink your hips back. Exhale, root down to rise all the way up. Arms come down by the sides this time. Breathe here, Tadasana. All right, so something that I forgot to ask you guys was to grab blocks for today. So you don't have to have blocks. We're gonna do half moon, which is this. And we're gonna do revolved half moon, which is this. So it's okay if you don't have blocks, but it's a lot easier to put your hands on blocks. You could also use like a little chair or a stool or something like that. That would be fine as well. You need this? Okay. All right, so from here, now we're gonna just have if you have blocks, place those up at the front of the mat. Again, it's okay if you don't have them, we'll do our best. All right, so into Tadasana, exhale, ground down. Inhale, arms up overhead, bring your hips back, chair Utkatasana. Exhale, fold, straighten the legs to where it feels good for you. Inhale, come halfway up to your monkey pose. Exhale, hop to plank or walk to plank or hop to chaturanga and move through your vinyasa. So you can inhale, push forward. Exhale, lower, elbows in, uncurl the toes. Inhale, back bend. Engage your abs, slow exhale, hips up and back. Now bend your knees, inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, bring your right foot through however you can. Low lunge. Now flatten the back foot. You want your right heel in line with the arch of the back foot and windmill both arms up coming into warrior two. So your right knee's bent towards 90 degrees. Your left leg is straight. Right heel in line with the arch of the back foot. Arms up and parallel to the ground. And then gaze out through your right middle finger. Yes, beautiful. So make sure that your knee is pointing in the same direction as your toes. Okay, so don't let the right toes turn in. Don't let the knee turn in. Keep the right foot pointing straight forward and the knee pointing straight forward. Good. Helena, lift your back arm up a little bit if possible so it's parallel to the ground. Good. So from here, really grounding down from the belly button down or from the navel down and then from the navel up, really drawing up. Good. Now, we're gonna come into a side angle, so inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, right forearm to the right leg, left arm all the way up and overhead. So the left arm is actually right by the ear. So you wanna be in a straight line from the back foot all the way up to the left fingertips. So from the left foot all the way up to the left fingertips. Make sure not to dump into the bottom shoulder, so really push into the bottom elbow so you have a lot of space in between the shoulder and the ear. It's called Parshvakonasana. All right, now you're gonna really have to put your listening ears on, okay? So bring your hands now on either side of the right foot. Lift your back heel. So now you're in a lunge. All right, so now we're gonna put all the weight, and you can watch me first if you need to. We're gonna put all the weight in the right foot and then start to lift the left foot. Walk your hands out in front of you just so that they're directly under the shoulders. So if you have your blocks, your hands would be on blocks now. Now bring your right hand directly like under your face so it's straight down from your eyeballs. And then start to stack the hips. So now your left toes point to the left. Your left toes point to the left. If you feel balanced, left arm can go up, but you can keep it down if needed. So breathe here. This is half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. If you fall out of it, it's okay. Just come back to it. Good. Back leg is straight. Well, both legs straight if possible, but if you don't have blocks, it might be hard to keep your right leg straight. All right, so now you can move through a vinyasa, or if you want to go into standing splits, you could do that. You don't have to. So standing splits, you would just like grab your right leg and draw your forehead closer to your shin. And then release, downward facing dog. You can walk it out. All right, vinyasa if you like, or you could take a resting pose or hang out in down dog. So if you want to do vinyasa, inhale forward, exhale down, inhale back bend, exhale slow, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, left foot through, low lunge, flatten the back foot, windmill the arms up, warrior two. Left heel in line with the arch of the back foot, turn the back toes in just slightly. Okay, left toes point straight forward, knees pointing in the same direction. Arms up and parallel to the ground. Keep the left knee right on top of the ankle. Don't let it come in. Keep it back, right on top of the ankle. Opening the right hip back only as far as you can go without your left knee caving in. From the navel down, ground down. From the navel up, rise up. This is Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Inhale, lengthen, so reach the rib cage up. Exhale, left forearm to the left leg, right arm up and overhead. So now you're in a straight line from the right foot up to the right fingertips. Make sure not to dump into the bottom shoulder. Left hand is active, so squeeze the fingers together, left palm faces up towards the sky. Good, now both hands on either side of the left foot, lift your right heel. Okay, now put all of the weight in the left foot, walk the hands forward slightly so they're directly under the shoulders. Right toes are right now pointing down. Bring the left hand directly under your face. And then start to turn the right toes to the right. So maybe you just come up onto the fingertips of the right hand. That's fine. You can stay right there. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can lift your right hand up, but you don't have to go there. It's okay. Keep pushing into the heel and the ball of the right foot. And then release. You can move through a vinyasa or standing splits. Okay. Make your way back to down dog. If you haven't done a vinyasa, inhale, come forward, shoulders past the wrists. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. So breathe here. Feel free to bend the knees so you can push into the knuckles and send the hips up and back. Take a few more breaths here or take a resting pose. Maybe stretch your wrists out if you need that. All right. And then just come down to your hands and knees for a second and sit back onto your heels if that feels okay. So these half moon poses, they have a lot of directions, okay? So that one might have been really challenging if you didn't know the pose already. So I'm going to show you the next pose that we're going to do before you do it. So it's that pose, but it's revolved. So it's a lot different. Okay, so I'm just going to show you first. What we'll do is we're going to come up, we'll have the back heel lifted, and then we're either going to twist like this or cross the left tricep over here, palms together. Now, what I don't want you to do is come down like this. I want you to push really hard into the hands so that, see how this top shoulder rolls back? And I open up the chest more towards this way. Okay, so then from there, we'll bring the hands down, just like we did, same thing, walk the hands out in front a little bit. Left hand under the face, and then you're gonna actually twist in the opposite direction. So the left toes keep pointing down. So in half moon, the hips are open, right? But in revolve, the hips are closed. They're pointing down. So you're actually twisting to the right. All right, so we're gonna try that flow. So make your way back to your downward facing dog. And then walk or float to the front of the mat. Hands to your shins. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to your chair. Bring your hips back, Utkatasana. Make sure you can see your toes and ankles. Exhale, root down to rise all the way up to standing. Tadasana, arms by your sides. Breathe here. All right, so one final flow. Exhale, ground down. Inhale, arms up, bring hips back into chair. Exhale, fold, straighten the legs to where you can today. Inhale, monkey pose, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plank. Move or push forward, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, slow, hips up and back. All right. Put those listening ears on. Bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, right foot through, however you can, low lunge. Ground down into the base of the front big toe and then slowly come up to that crescent warrior again. Scoot your left foot back. So instead of the heel being towards the ground, the heel's right over the ball of the foot. So see how that's different? Inhale, arms up. Now exhale, twist. So bring your left hand to your opposite knee. Right hand to your hip. Yes. Twist, twist, twist. Stay there or cross the left tricep over the right knee if you want to go further. Palms together. So then from there, your pointer fingers point straight forward towards the front of the mat. Push into the hands, roll your top shoulder back. Yes, so twist. Yep, perfect. Great job. Okay, so from then there, both hands down on either side of the right foot. Walk the hands forward and lift the left foot. Now the left toes are pointing down. The leg is parallel to the ground if at all humanly possible. Now start to twist the belly button to the right and lift your right hand to your right hip. This one I think is actually easier to balance in. Your right arm could go up to the sky. Try to twist the belly button, stack the shoulders if at all possible. You could also use the wall for this pose by putting your foot on the wall. Okay, release standing splits or just move through your vinyasa on your own. So take your time, move through a vinyasa or just come to child's or downward facing dog or take a break in child's pose. I'm going to grab some water. Make sure you're still breathing. All right, so come to your down dog if you're not there already. Bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, left foot through, low lunge. Ground down into the base of the front big toe and rise up. Okay, so now scoot your right foot back so the heel's right above the toes. Arms up, inhale. Exhale, twist to your left. So left hand to the hip, right hand to the knee. Can stay there or prayer. So cross the right tricep over the left knee. Breathe here. Push into the hands. Roll the top shoulder back. And then both hands on either side of the left foot. Start to push all of the weight in the left foot and lift the right leg. Okay, so now the right leg's parallel to the ground. Keep your right hand down. Twist to the left. Left hand can come to the hip or it can go up. So ideally you're in a straight line from the lifted foot all the way through to the head. Open the chest. Standing splits. And vinyasa. So you can inhale forward to plank. Exhale, lower. If you're getting tired, lower the knees. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog or resting pose. Listen to your body. If you're in a resting pose, close your eyes. Come back to your breath. All right, so let's come into our first resting pose, pigeon. All right, so from downward facing dog, you can bring your right knee to the outside of the right wrist and the foot swings to the left. Okay, so I'm gonna do this so you guys can see me. So right knee to the outside of the right wrist, foot swings to the left. Please don't grab the foot and yank it up. The shin does not need to be parallel to the front of the mat. If you need to feel more of a stretch, curl your back toes under and then walk your front knee back. So walk it back, okay? If your shin does end up parallel to the front of the mat, it's fine, but that's not the goal. The goal is always to feel sensation. All right, so your back left leg is parallel to the long side of the mat. Make sure you're lifted here so you're not sitting off onto your booty, okay? So you're gonna be lifted a little bit. Your hips are square. If it feels good, you can bring forearms onto blocks or onto the ground. If that feels good, then you could stack your fists and place your forehead onto the top fist, or you can lay all the way down. Whatever feels good. I like to have my forehead on something. It's a lot more calming, so you could even put your forehead on a block. You can uncurl your back toes, Helena, if you want. You don't have to, but I like them to be uncurled. I think it's more relaxing. So while you're here, try to kind of talk your glute and your hip into releasing and relaxing. It's really easy here to kind of keep a gripping action in the glute. Your glute is the booty of the muscles, what I'm talking about. So just try to soften into it. It's kind of like you're negotiating with your muscles. Like, I'm not going to go any further than we need to go today. Relax the face, relax the jaw. And what we're going to do with our breath is you're going to inhale as far as you can comfortably, and then exhale, letting your exhale get longer and longer. So see how many counts your inhale takes. Maybe you inhale to 4 or 5, and then let your exhale be 1, 2, or 3 counts longer. So if you inhale to 4, maybe exhale to 7. You just don't want to cause strain. Okay, this is called vinyasa breath, or unequal breathing. It's very calming. It's good to do at the end of the class. Deepen your breath. And then just very, very slowly, you can push yourself up to your hands and knees. Just move really slow because we don't want to, disrupt all that calmness we just created. You can come to a down dog and walk it out. Shift your hips from side to side. Bend your knees. Inhale, look forward. At the end of the exhale, left knee to the outside of the left wrist. Foot swings over to the right. Again, if you need to feel a deeper stretch, just curl your back toes under and walk it back. Okay, back leg parallel to the long side of the mat. Just come down to where it feels good for you on this side. It might be different than the other side, and that's okay. Rest your forehead on something if possible. Hips are square. Negotiate with your muscles to release and relax. And just soften into the pose. Soften the forehead. Soften the jaw. And then come back to your vinyasa breath. And deepen your breath. And slowly make your way up to your hands and knees, just very slow. Make your way to one last downward facing dog. And just walk it out, releasing yourself from that pose. And then come back to the hands and knees and swing your feet around and come to seated. Cross your legs, pull the flesh away from the sitting bones. Let your palms be open on your knees. Tuck your chin slightly to lengthen your neck. Close your eyes. Now start to bring your intention, or your attention rather, to the area of the solar plexus. So it's above the belly button and below the diaphragm, in the center of the body, in the central channel. That central channel is called the Sushumna. The Sushumna are central channels where the 7 main chakras lie. So bringing your attention again to that solar plexus area, the Manipura. Start to see a yellow light, yellow glowing light. And as you inhale, see that yellow glowing light getting a little bit bigger, filling up that entire area. As you exhale, see the light getting smaller. So it's pulsing with the breath. As you inhale, see it get bigger. So it's cleansing and purifying this space here in the solar plexus. As you exhale, it gets smaller, like it's taking a break. It's regaining its energy. As you inhale, it gets bigger. Cleansing and purifying, burning away anything you no longer need. Exhaling, getting smaller. Continue with that. Do that a few more rounds. With that visualization, incorporate your intention, your words, your affirmation on your inhale, I am. Exhale, your intention. Again, inhale, I am. Exhale, your intention. Good. And then slowly lower your head. Just bring your hands down and then lay yourself back onto your back. Extend your legs straight out in front of you. Bring your feet about as wide as your mat and let your feet fall out to the sides. Arms are beside you, but the hands are a little bit wider than the mat, palms facing up. Tuck your chin just a little bit so that it's not jutting out. Just tuck it just a little bit so that it's the same level as the forehead. Eyes closed. Now start moving through the body, letting go of any tension that could be left. So starting at the crown of the head. Moving all the way down over the forehead. Continue moving down the body with each exhale, letting the back of the body get heavier and heavier. And the front of the body get lighter and lighter, creating space in the center of the body. Enjoy these last few moments here of Shavasana, our final resting pose. Start deepening your breath. Coming back to the present moment. And bring some movement back to the fingers and the toes. The wrists and the ankles. You can gently turn the head from side to side. And if it would feel good, you can reach your arms overhead and reaching your heels in one direction, your fingertips in the opposite direction, maybe even arching your back a little bit. Full body stretch. And then slowly start to bend your knees, placing your feet on the floor. Roll onto your right hand side, using your right arm for a pillow. Take a couple breaths here, expanding the lungs and ribs in every direction, the front and the back and the sides. Yeah, and then with the strength of your arms, slowly push yourself up to seated. Let your head be the last thing to come up. Come into an easy cross-legged pose. Again, palms open on the knees, eyes closed, tuck the chin slightly to lengthen the neck. Come back to your breath here and just start to notice how you're feeling now. How are you feeling now compared to when you first sat down on your mat with me today? And then circle your hands together in front of your heart into prayer. We'll close our circle, close our class, and show gratitude for our practice. Send a little bit more energy to our intention with one final Om. Take a deep breath in. And then you can bow down as far as it feels good for you. Bring your thumbs up to your third eye, acknowledging the energy that's within you, around you, connects us all together and never goes away. That energy within me acknowledges the energy within you. And I thank you so very much for letting me guide you through your practice today. Namaste. You can open your eyes when you're ready. I'm going to unmute you guys. It's going to get really loud probably. All right. So how does everybody feel? How do you feel, Tisha?
I feel great.
Do you want to share your intention with us or no?
Yeah, no, my intention is accepting.
Nice.
So that's kind of like my mantra going into 2020.
Perfect. I love that.